kind of a bummer, depending on your feelings and thoughts of this actor. Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with aphasia and will be retiring from acting. His family announced, which aphasia is a mental disorder, which makes it difficult or impossible for him to remember lines. Let's see if it says any. Bruce Willis has announced his retirement from acting at the age of 67. Looks pretty good for a 67-year-old. I mean, he hasn't really changed much in the last 30 years, it seems like. 67 due to being diagnosed with aphasia. Aphasia is a language disorder caused by brain damage that affects a person's ability to communicate. Bruce Willis has starred in over 100 films, including his iconic roles in Die Hard, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Pulp Fiction, and Armageddon. Sending love to Bruce Willis and his family and friends. So brain damage. I wonder if that's from I don't think he did any stunts. He probably got in fights. Bruce Willis seems like a guy who would get drunk and be in fights in like his younger years. I could see Bruce Willis being 60 years old wanting to get into a rumble. Like, that's just kind of the guy he seems like he is. And 100 films, which the majority of films he is in are garbage. It's clear he must have known this diagnosis. He probably got diagnosed before, it seems, because he will be in everything. Like, he has been in so many like straight to video on demand movies that I've never heard of. That is just mind blowing. But of course, some all time classics. I mean, Armageddon is whatever. Unbreakable, probably one of the best superhero movies ever made, I would say, in my opinion. At least one of the only original kind of a superhero movie that's not based on a comic book. Die Hard is a series that I would love to revisit. I love the first, and I actually love the first three. Die Hard 2 is okay. I mean, it's basically the first movie, but in an airport, so not nearly as good as the first one. Number 3 is a lot of fun with Samuel L. Jackson. They're running all over town with the Simon Says guy. So 1 and 3 are definitely my favorite. But then there's some sequels out there that I haven't watched. So one of these days I think there's at least 5 of them. I'll probably do a top 5 I'll probably do a top 5 Bruce Willis movies now that he's retiring, which not the only actor to announce retirement this past week. So I'll probably do my top 5 favorite Bruce Willis movies, and then I will probably rank my Die Hard films. Not my Die Hard, but my favorite Die Hard films, rank those. So 2 episodes of top 5 that if you're a Bruce Willis fan to look forward to. And I'm kind of looking forward to dipping into the movies that he's done, I'm sure there's movies that are highly regarded of his that I haven't seen, that aren't like Pulp Fiction or The Sixth Sense, which is another great movie. But yeah, kind of, and also like I've heard that Bruce Willis isn't like the best actor to work with. Like, people don't really like working with him. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of a dude he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he is not a good dude, but it's sad on some level that, he's no longer going to the movies that he's done is all that he's going to do. And it's not because of death, it is because of brain trauma. I wonder how many UFC fighters are going to be diagnosed with aphasia. It almost seems like Chuck Liddell's already suffering from it. But anyway, sorry to see Bruce Willis go, for whatever that's worth. My esteem of Bruce Willis, like, I enjoy him in movies. He's usually not a very nice person in his movies, like the characters he plays. He's in a lot of like conservative wet dream movies too. Like, I remember seeing some movie about like he's a doctor that got mugged once and just like bought a gun and instantly became an assassin. it's just like one of those gun porn movies. It seems like he's done a lot of those. Like, it seems like he's done a lot of like conservative wet dream movies. But he has been in some great stuff, which is surprising that 2 of those are M. Night Shyamalan movies. But yeah, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis's career, R.I.P. How about that? So it'll be fun to see if there's any hidden gems that I missed in his career when I do the top 5.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.